So every time I post that video of those pop scares, people ask me, how did I make pop scares that sync up with video? So I've never done a YouTube video like this before, but I'm going to show you how I did it. So this is the basic mechanism here. Got an air cylinder, which is connected to a two-way solenoid valve, which is controlled by this device here called a DMX decoder, which is actually often used as like a rope light controller. It has 4 channels. And it puts out whatever voltage you put in. So for example, I just have this wall wart here, which is, I think, is 12 volts. And that goes into the DMX decoder. And then the decoder sends out that 12 volts on command to up to 4 channels here. And the decoder is hooked up to DMX through this interface box, NTech. It's a open source DMX USB box. Pretty affordable and works with just about every software that I know of. And that, of course, is hooked up USB to my computer, which is running the DMX software. And then just some notes about the physical build. This is a brand new mount designed to keep the faces looking forward. I had a problem with them drifting off side to side. So I'm going to fill this in with some pool noodles to fill it out so that the face looks more natural. The mask, I just use basically a latex mask on it. And that is down here, that's a drawer slider. And the effect is basically in your software, when you turn up one of the channels on the DMX. So I have this valve connected to channel 1. Push that up and that fires off the cylinder, which looks like that. I'll fire it off again. And as you can imagine, if you can get your air cylinders to sync up with DMX software, there's lots of possibilities. So what I did in that video is I synced it up with the Atmosphere or Atmos FX videos, and they're interactive with the videos on the screen. My pop scares are interactive with the videos on the screen. And that's because I can program a show into the DMX software and fire these off at will. So on one box here you have 4 channels, which means you have 3 extra channels once you hook up your one cylinder. You can do a number of things with that. You can actually control more than one cylinder. So if you have a more complicated animatronic that you want to make, you can do that. Or if you have a like an LED light, you can actually hook an LED light to this output here, provided that it will accept the voltage that you're putting in. Like I said, I'm just putting in this 12 volts from the wall wart. So the channel there would put out 12 volts to the LED light. So on the valve here, you can see I have these things installed. And what those are for, it actually controls the airflow. Those are the exhaust ports on the solenoid valve. And so you can screw those in tighter or loosen them up, and that will control the speed that the cylinder fires at. So, and it also retracts, because on the B port, it's connected to the cylinder extend side, and the A port on the valve is connected to the cylinder retract side. And the valve is always applying pressure to one or the other. It flips back and forth. So right now it's applying pressure to A. That's the default. And that's why it's closed. And you can't pull it open right now because it's actually applying air pressure right here. And then when the valve is fired, I'll just do it manually here. It actually fires air into the supply side. So if you notice, it goes up really fast and comes down slow. That's because that's how I have the exhaust ports set up here. So this is the valve that controls the speed of it going up. I've tightened that up. And then I can do the opposite as well. This is the exhaust port for it coming down. Or I can put it back pretty much how I had it here. Tighten this one. Loosen this one. And now it should go up fast and down slow. Well, slower. So I'm going to do a future video on what to do with the software, which is really cool because that has so much potential. If you have a projector, you can sync your cylinders up with videos. These boxes, like I said, can also control a little bit of lighting, although they're not dimmers. It's basically switches on and off. You can put it in sync with other lights that you have. If you have up lights, if you have spotlights or anything like that, anything to highlight the faces of the animatronics as well, you can have a lot of fun with it. So I'll do a future video just on the software.